Hey guys, so this is actually the very first time that I have gone live on YouTube. Um, I'm just kind of barely getting my account going, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the attempted assassination yesterday on President Trump and just kind of share my thoughts on all of that. First of all, I want to say that it is obvious that God's hand is and was on President Trump um, yesterday. The moment that he turned his head, it just grazed his ear. That would have been a fatal shot. That would have been game over. And I'm so thankful. We've been hearing from these politicians and the media little subtle comments about taking him out, and some of them not so subtle. Some of them saying straight up they're going to assassinate him. Um, I truly believe that it was because of the prayers of God's people on this man who is the most prayed for human being on earth. It's President Trump. There's no one else that is getting as many prayers, and God answers prayers, guys. He surely answers prayers. This piece is being painted for President Trump. And so are these other two pieces that I've been working on. This one I've been working on for a year and a half. This is going to him. This one I've been working on since the debate, because this is the kind of president that we want, someone that is going to work hard and give everything that they have at the end of the day, still knowing that what he's doing is worthwhile. And this piece I'm creating for him after what happened yesterday, wasn't it amazing that after he was shot, his words, he fought for the moment to say, hold on, to his Secret Service, to tell us to fight. And you gotta imagine the moment when he got shot and shots are being fired and they get him up and they're taking him to the car. It doesn't mean that he's out of danger yet. It doesn't mean that there are not going to be more shots fired. I believe that he felt that if it was his last words, to not only Americans, but to God's people, that his last words would be to fight. That's what I believe, that he wanted to get that message out. That's what he's done with his whole life, is fight. And that's what he's done as the president and as running is to fight. So I want to encourage you, if you are a Christian, really my platform, I'm a Christian, and my call is to speak to other believers. If you are a believer, continue to pray, continue to cover President Trump in prayers, and also know that God has a purpose for you. Know that God is going to use your life and your voice and your prayers and your fight to make a difference in this country, to make a difference in this time. We don't sit on the sidelines. We actively participate. We may not have been at that rally. We may not have ever gone to a rally, but how many of us have prayed for President Trump? How many of us have prayed and God answered our prayers? God protected him. And do you ever notice that it's always the most amazing presidents that they try to take out? I mean, or that they successfully do. You have Lincoln, you have JFK, Reagan, like they're President Trump. The enemy does not want to yield this country back to the people, because the enemy has had such a stronghold for so long. And that stronghold has only been possible because God's people got comfortable and complacent, and a lot of times didn't even know what was going on. But now we live in a time where we see it, we understand it, we can look at it, and that's not of God, that's of the enemy. We can perceive it in a way that now we're accountable for what we know. We can't just say we're ignorant to it. So what will we do with what we know? I encourage you to pray, to press on, to give God everything to give your gifts over to God. I'm an artist, and early on, I wanted to make a difference in this country, and I was frustrated because I saw the problems were so big. And I said, God, how can I make a difference? These problems are so big. I started to see things with the FDA, with the CDC, and I'm like, they're giants. Like, how can I do something? Like, you have to show me the way, because if I'm aware that there's a problem, I have to be able to do something with that. I can't just hold it in my heart. It'll kill me. And God started to show me, and he spoke to me, and he said, you were created not to control. I never created mankind with the ability to control anybody else. And if you think about it, the only control I have is over my own self. I can control my fingers. I can control what I say, what I think. I can never control another human being. He said, what I created you for is to cultivate. He put us in the garden. He created us to cultivate. To cultivate what? To cultivate our gifts, our talents, to cultivate in life. And he said, you're either controlling or you're cultivating as a human being. And he said, but you can't do both at the same time. Your energy will either be put cultivating these gifts or trying to control these, huge organizations that you're overwhelmed by. And so that brought a whole new level of understanding that by cultivating my gifts, which is art, so that's one of my gifts, by cultivating these gifts, that I would have the ability to impact people through influence over control. Control doesn't, there's no such thing. You have self-control, and that's it. That's why on the day of judgment, we will be before God answering only for what we did. But influence has the ability to impact people in a greater way. And so I want to encourage you, use your gifts in the time, whatever your gifts are, don't discount them. President Trump uses his gifts of business administration, of strong leadership, of being a fighter and a competitor in an effort to win back this country and give it back to the people. That's amazing. So whatever your gifts are, I don't care if you're a plumber, I don't care if you're a landscaper, whatever your gifts are, I pray to God that you will use your gifts in a way that will honor the Lord, that will, when you give your gifts to him, it activates your gifts in a way that becomes an anointing. And we can see that President Trump carries an anointing for what he's doing. In the same way, whatever the gifts that God has given you, I pray, God, that you'll give them back to him and allow him to anoint you, so that when you're walking in your gift, things will happen that couldn't happen otherwise. We love our president. We're praying for him. We're praying for his family at this time. And we know that the best is yet to come. I truly believe that this country is on the verge of the greatest revival that we've ever seen. Thank you all for allowing me to speak to you today. I'm doing this first live feed on YouTube. But yeah, this is my little art studio. These are some of my paintings. But you know what? I'm focused on getting this one done. This is going directly to President Trump, just to encourage him and to hopefully, bring some inspiration to his heart for how we view him and how God sees him as an American hero. This man is amazing. And as long as we keep praying for him, we're gonna, God's will is going to proceed, and we're gonna have victory. So God bless you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.